U.S. charter schools have emerged as an alternative to public schools since state legislatures passed charter law in 1990. They are public schools funded by taxpayers, and at about 6,000 schools nationwide, it is clear public education is evolving.
The original idea for charter schools came about at a time in the 90s when there were free market ideas being floated as a good approach to education reform. There was a lot of talk about what can schools learn from business. So how could they take the idea of keep what is good about the public school and allow for entrepreneurs to come in and try out new practices, new policies, new curriculum.
The Charter School Authorizer is responsible for reviewing charter school applications and overseeing their progress. Although 90% of authorizers are local school boards, they have, in fact, only authorized half of all charter schools in the nation. The other half are authorized by universities, nonprofits, and independent charter boards. In a 2009 charter school study conducted by Stanford University's Center for Research of Education Outcomes, or CREDO, compares charter school performance with traditional public schools.
They found in states that had multiple authorizers that charter schools had a tendency to perform less well than in states where there was a single type of authorizer.
This is not to say the study proves one authorizer is better than another. Yet, an example of the dangers of multiple authorizers is in Ohio, where there have been numerous problems with academic accountability.
ASBJ, Ohio School Boards Association, may I help you?
Well, I believe that the structure is in place, the policy is in place, which is a relatively good policy. But I believe the mechanism for monitoring and acting on poor accountability is weak. I think that a number of charter schools have performed poorly over the years, and really no action has been taken on those.
In 2008, the Ohio General Assembly passed a closure law for low-performing charter schools. However, there have been loopholes in this legislation, and 8 charter schools reopened under different names, skirting the law.
If we know that a charter school has closed and reopened under a different name with the same sponsors, with the same operators, school should be closed down, or they should be called to account for that. And it shouldn't just be something that we just say, oh, this happened.
In Arizona, state policy also allows for multiple authorizers of charter schools. And there have been many reports of problems with financial accountability in both local and national headlines.
In our state, there was very little regulation with regards to governance models for charter schools. And in addition, there's really no financial oversight to any great degree. The sad part about the development of public policy in Arizona relative to charters is as we come into our 20th year of having charter schools in our state, we are now having to go retrofit policy to create accountability measures for the money and also for student achievement.
In Maryland, unlike many states, state policy gives local school boards sole authorizing authority of charter schools. David Stone, school board member for Baltimore City Public Schools, tells us that his school board holds the city's charter schools to the same level of accountability as traditional public schools.
We work very closely with our charter school operators. All schools in the system are evaluated the same. So for academic performance, the evaluation that we have, that's 50% of the score. The same benchmarks that charter schools need to reach, our traditional schools need to reach. State law requires an annual audit of the school funds. And in our school system, the charter schools are required to enter their financial data into the system the same way that traditional schools are.
The National School Boards Association has a position on charter schools. We support them. We support them as long as the school board is the authorizer. The advantage, not just having a single authorizer, but having the school board as the authorizer, is that they are already there to be responsible for the students in their district.
Charter schools are going to be a powerful force in public education, and many school board advocates say school board members must play their role by providing vigorous oversight of charters in their district and advocating for sound charter school policy in their state legislatures in partnership with their state school board associations.
School choice is here, it's going to stay. I think the issue is we need to make sure that the choices that parents have result in better performance for their child.
It comes down to the authorizing agency, and mostly it comes down to the parents themselves. You know, if they are going to make this choice, they need to make an informed decision. If it's an existing charter school, you want to see the data. If it's a new charter school, you want to look at the program carefully and know that there are some assurances that they're going to make sure that your child in that school performance is being monitored all along the way, so your child doesn't fall through the cracks. Keep in mind that a typical charter is 3 to 5 years, all right? Well, if a charter isn't performing at the end of 3 years, you yank the charter and they go off, and it seems like everything is fine, except that 3 years of a child's schooling can make a big, big difference. And if they have not made any gains with that child, it is very, very difficult for that child to come back and catch up to his or her peers. So when you talk about accountability, we really have to put that child's face on it.